Hello everyone and welcome back to another Guild Wars 2 video. Today is Tuesday, the date of recording this video, recording the gameplay and the audio. It is Tuesday, and this means the weekly rotation for the strike missions has changed. And this week we have the Fraenir of Jormag. Last week it was the two Coden, and now it's the Fraenir, and the next week it's going to be the legendary Bone Skinner. And this is pretty much just the fight I'm going to be talking about it, giving my discussion and my opinions. But a lot of people were saying that they were worried about the difficulty for the Bone Skinner. And if the Fraenir is anything to predict how the Bone Skinner difficulty will be and what the developers have said, it will probably be very, very difficult. I'm not really worried about the difficulty scaling for the legendary Bone Skinner, because the story mission for the Fraenir was very easy, but the strike mission is kind of difficult, especially with the boss just coming out and us not knowing the mechanics. He's definitely been a bit of a pain. I've died to him once. I've gone down to him a couple times, and that wasn't like the very first strike mission or the Coden, and they've said that the Bone Skinner is going to be even worse or even more difficult. So with that said, that's what I have to say about that. Now let's talk about the Fraenir. So the Fraenir, he has pretty basic attacks like AoE slashes. He does seem to teleport to the furthest player, and so be wary of that. He tends to jump across the arena a lot, which makes for fun movement. And then he carries over his story mission ability of tracking a certain character and then throwing like an ice projectile at them, knocking them back and knocking them down. So be wary of that. And then once you get him down to 75%, he goes into the Ice Behemoth, Ice Construct phase, which we saw back in Grothmar Valley. And I don't know if Grothmar Valley, that strike mission is going to be in the rotation. I hope it is, and I hope that they give it like a little boost, because it had some nice mechanics if it was just tuned up a bit. But we have the Ice Construct, and this is basically Ice Construct 2.0 with some new attacks. And some attacks that are renewing and popping up once again. Primarily the half circle AoE that he just did right there, the slash, the freezing fan, I like to call it. And people get AoE pulsing damage, so you might not want to stay super close together if you aren't in a group that has a lot of healing. One of the other new mechanics that he has are these things, these ice fragments, these ice elemental fragments, which I noticed. This was my very first time in this boss. I noticed and I was like, these don't seem cool. Oh, well, they seem cool because it's icy, but they seem kind of weird. So I started attacking them, and then I panned my camera over and I realized that if you don't kill them, ice elementals will spawn and can do some damage to you. So if you want to have, they don't seem to be super annoying. They do some projectile attacks, so I can imagine if you let them stay up the entire fight, they could be a problem. But if someone wants to like make a build primarily for clearing out these, like I don't know if Epidemic works well, it might. I have yet to try that out, or just some other general large AoE build. But that's mostly the construct portion. After this, it's not game over. You do have to finish off the Fraenir, and I love the animation of the construct's left arm popping off and the Fraenir inside, controlling him. It's just these nice little animation touches which really make the fight come alive. I also forgot that I had dialogue sound options turned off, so I apologize without his voice lines, but I went back and I played it and they're pretty cool. Same voice actor, they sounded pretty similar. That was a portion where I actually used my signet to resurrect allies. Yeah, people started going down. If you aren't, this is one of the fights where I'm starting to see the potential for strike missions. It's this one, which I've seen so far, in my opinion, is the most difficult one. The Godin one was okay. It was pretty normal. It only was difficult when you didn't know what was happening. But once you knew what was happening, you acclimated quickly. With this fight, oh, I also forgot to mention another mechanic. I'll just finish my thought. With this fight, it's definitely become more threatening, and I'm very excited to see the Bone Skinner. And I hope that they start to. I hope Bone Skinner is where it's like peak difficulty, and maybe like they could cross the line a little bit. But this is once again trying to be an introduction to raiding, so I don't know how hard they want to get. This is the other mechanic I wanted to talk about, was the freezing mechanic, where sometimes you will be frozen and you have to spam the one skill to break out. It is exactly the same to the Bjorn March's meta event, where you get frozen if you take 25 stacks of the Bitter Cold, and you get frozen and you have to break out, or you have to have other allies break you out. So I actually want to go back in, even though I've already fought this guy twice, I want to go back in with some other professions and other builds just to see what I can do. I haven't gotten gold yet, which is really sad. I would love to get gold. I don't know if I've even gotten silver. But overall, I think the fight is really well made. It's a lot of fun. And make sure to play it this week to get an achievement point, or an achievement completion. You got 10 achievement points for doing it. And yeah, I still think there is some stuff to discuss when it comes to strike missions, but we might save that for a later date. Overall, thank you for watching. Like if you liked it, and comment down below on your thoughts on the Fraenir. See you guys next video. Bye.